everyone. This is Maren, and you're listening to Homeschool Unrefined, the podcast where we keep homeschool simple, real, and fun.
And this is Angela. You've got episode 112, How We Summer. We're going to talk about that in a few minutes, but first, we wanted to say hello to everybody. Hello, listeners. We're glad that you're here. Thank you for coming back. We love to be able to do this with you. A special hello to our Patreon supporters. If you are interested in supporting us on Patreon, you can go to patreon.com/homeschoolunrefined.
Yes. Just a little bit about Homeschool Unrefined. If you're new, we are here to kind of change the conversation about homeschool. We want you to feel like what you're doing right now is enough. You're doing great things right now. Who you are as a mother, as a human being, is right where you should be. And we are encouraging you to just be yourself.
Yes. And sometimes that means doing a little bit less than you hope that you want to do or think that you probably should do.
Yeah.
I know that that's the way it is for me. That's the case for me. So
right. And so what we'd love to do on this podcast, instead of adding things to your plate, it's more we want you to see the value in where you're at right now and just kind of like dig deeper to who you are as a person and how you can bring out the best in yourself.
Yeah, for your kids.
For your kids.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
And for you.
Right.
So, Angela, I've been meaning to ask you something, and I just figured, why not? I'm just going to bring it up on the show.
Okay.
Why not?
Okay.
There's a new place in our city, in our area. It's at the mall.
Okay.
To eat. Have you gone
What's
to
it
the
called?
mall? Well, just wondering, have you gone to the mall to eat lately?
No. I don't go to malls.
I'm laughing because you and I both do not like malls.
No.
I don't like malls either.
I think malls are dying, but actually the mall near us is actually adding on.
Yeah.
Which I think
thriving.
is super interesting.
Really interesting. But I do think they're kind of changing how malls are kind of a little bit.
Okay. Well, I
don't
haven't been inside, so I don't know.
Well, I was very skeptical about this place because it is in the mall.
Yep.
But they renovated, so they've been renovating. Anyway, it's kind of like a food extravaganza place where it's like there's a bunch of different restaurants and it's 2 levels. It's a huge area. I think it used to actually be a department store, which I think it's department stores are kind of dying.
Is it where the Herbergers was?
No.
Oh, different dying department store.
Different dying department store. Exactly. No, but it's kind of by where the restaurants are.
Okay.
Anyway, and so it's 2 levels. It's got all these different food choices, and they're all really, I'd say, good food. They're all good food. There's sushi, there's burgers, there's a noodles place, there's a taco place, a pizza place. I mean, and they're all like pretty high quality, I'd say, really good food.
Okay.
And then they have just like in areas where you can just sit and eat. So anybody, your family can go pick food from wherever, and then you all go sit and eat in the middle area. And it's super, like hipster, I'd say. I don't know what else
is
to
this
say.
Is this a hipster food court? That's what I'm picturing.
It's a hipster food court. And then there's pool tables and shuffleboard. And last time we were there was music. Somebody was playing music, like live music.
You've been there more than once.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, let me tell you, with all of our home renovations happening, I have taken cooking food off my plate pretty much.
Yeah.
And when it's really busy in our house, there's just no way.
Okay.
It's either the food prep that's stressful or the food cleaning up that's stressful, and it's like either one of those. We have to not do it. So, and this place is nearby.
Okay, so I am still having trouble picturing it because I'm picturing a food court. Does it not look like a food court?
No, it doesn't look like a food court. I'm trying to think. How can I describe this to you?
I'm wondering if do other malls have this? Is this like a new thing? They're trying to get the hipsters to the mall.
Yeah, it's kind of like, food trucks, except in a
open area,
permanent location. You know what I mean? It's like that kind of feel.
Are they not chains?
They're
They're
not
not
chains.
chains,
I've
so
never
they're
heard of
individual.
any of them. Yeah. And it's kind of like food that I would get at like a brewery or something, like it's just a newer kind of like hipper version of food. Anyway, but it's really good. So great. I don't know. I really like it because it's something new in our city. I feel like
Yeah.
we have a lot of chains around us, right?
Yeah.
And so this is just kind of it's at least something.
Okay, I might have to try it. Though I am skeptical, but that is my personality. I'm skeptical of everything.
Yes.
I'll probably
Which
like it.
is good.
I'll probably end up liking it, honestly.
It's nice because, when we do go out to eat, if we have to go to one restaurant, there's somebody who is super unhappy about it.
Mm-hmm.
So here, at least everybody gets a choice. Oh, the other great thing that I love about it is you don't actually have to order at each place. You can go to like a monitor. There's monitors everywhere. You go to one monitor, you can order all your food from that monitor.
And you pay for it as one.
You pay for it as one, yes, one thing.
Oh.
Yep, and then they text you when your food is ready.
Oh, nice.
Yeah,
I do
really
like
nice.
that.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we'll probably go there tonight, honestly.
Have fun. Enjoy it. I mean, then you get free pool,
Pool. Okay.
and shuffleboard, which is just something to do. And they have games. They have board games there.
Oh.
And there's couches and
okay.
it's just like a more kind of relaxed feel.
Okay.
Then it's not like a cafeteria, like a normal food court. It's just more of a restaurant kind of, or pub, or kind of, that kind of feel.
Yeah. Okay.
So it's fun.
That sounds interesting. I'm definitely going to try it because we do have the problem of where are we going to eat. Nobody can decide.
Yeah.
Everybody wants something different, and then we just stay home. It's usually what happens.
And then my monologue about how we need to be grateful that we even get to go out to eat at all.
I know.
And then, that doesn't actually help anything.
I know.
So anyway, I hope you enjoy it and let me know what you think.
Okay. All right. So today we are having a conversation about summer, and we called it How We Summer, which I had to stifle a laugh because I thought of Phoebe.
A little nod to Friends again. Well, that is just one of my. Let's just talk about this quickly. That's a great episode when Phoebe meets
Mike's family,
and they're super upper crust. I think, and she fakes an accent. Like, oh, it's so great.
I gotta watch that again. Is that season 9? I mean,
it's gotta be towards the end. Yeah, it's gotta be.
Wow.
I think I'm getting close to it. I've been watching Friends.
Have you? Again?
Yes, again.
Like all the way through?
I mean, yeah, I fall asleep to it sometimes.
Okay.
So I don't always actually watch it. I probably watch 10 minutes of it. Let's be real.
You actually just listen to it.
Yeah. Well, yeah, until I fall asleep.
Okay, so we thought we'd talk about summer because it's coming.
It's coming.
It feels like it's here actually already. And we know this is a universal topic among homeschoolers. Now, we also know that everybody's, depending on what area of the country you're in, your summer looks different.
Right.
So we are in Minnesota when we're like, yay, this is the best weather we've had.
Yep.
And the best weather season is summer. In the South, it can be like your hottest and worst.
Yeah. Yeah.
But
and as far as far as being active outside and stuff, like for us, this is prime time for us
to get outside.
Yes. Some of my kids would argue that winter is the best weather because they just, they love the snow. But for me, I just feel like this is our time we actually get to spend an extended amount of time outside. And
yeah, I was thinking I don't know, a week ago, okay, yeah, I don't even have to ask my kids to go outside. They are asking each other all day long, do you want to go outside, or going outside on their own? I forgot. When I can get trapped in this thinking that my kids hate going outside.
Yeah. A lot of it is just the cold weather.
Yeah, I forgot. Because we're all spending lots of time outside, so.
Yeah.
So anyway, your homeschool will probably look different in the summer a little bit, and that's going to be different for everybody. So we just thought we'd talk about that.
Yeah. So first, I just feel like we need to address the struggle that happens that I feel every year. I know you do, and I know many other people. And I think this is a universal struggle. Number one, we all need a break. We need an interruption in our schedule. We need something different in the summer. Yet we have this homeschool parent guilt that we haven't done enough over the school year. Whether that's, real or not, it might not even be actually accurate. You've probably done a lot more than you think, right? But we have this feeling often that we haven't done enough. And so is it really okay for us to let go and do less or nothing? Or, can I actually do that? Is that the right thing to do?
Yeah. Can I take a break? I want a break. Can I take a break?
Yeah.
Because we've taken lots of breaks throughout the year.
And for me, I know in theory, my kids, yes, they don't need that same schedule. They don't need to be doing all the things that we've done all school year. I know that in theory, my kids are going to be learning. I always say this, I preach this. They're learning all the time. So whether it's through a curriculum or an academic book or a program that they're in all year, or if it's outside, catching bugs, it's all learning. And yet, psychologically, I feel like I'm not doing enough when my kids are outside catching bugs.
Yep.
And so it's just something that I just hold on to. And I think a lot of us do.
Yes, I would agree. I would definitely agree. And I think the other tension that I feel is, as just a regular parent, not necessarily a homeschool parent, is how much activity to plan for in the summer versus how much to just let it be a free-for-all.
Yes.
How much how many scheduled things versus downtime. And here's the thing, I get it wrong every year. Like you're never going to do summer perfectly, or at least I don't. I've never done summer perfectly for me.
I'm constantly recalibrating, I would say, where I'm going a little bit too much, then I'm going a little bit too little, a little bit too much. And I think sometimes by the end of the summer, I'm zoning in on something good, but it takes all summer.
Yeah,
sometimes.
Right. Yeah. And I think too, in Minnesota, at least, our summer is long. I mean, I think our summer is long compared to most areas of the country. And by that, I mean like the time that we call summer. Like right now, it feels like summer. And then until Labor Day. I mean, that's at least 3 months. And I think it's just long enough to feel like, I don't know, to feel like I have to get this right. Like I have to, I don't know, I put this pressure on myself.
It's more of a long-term plan than like a short-term plan. Yeah.
Yes. And I feel like I put pressure on myself to get this thing right.
Exactly. So I think what I'm coming to, and this has kind of like been an evolution of my parenting and homeschooling, is that, we've gone from more intense things to like nothing during the school year. And every year we do a little bit less intensity during the school year and a little bit more in the summer. So it becomes more of a balance, I think. Now, I always think it's important to have change. Like it has to feel like summer. It has to feel different. And like we're celebrating all of our work, and we have to feel good about the work we've done. And we have to validate and, give value to the work we've done over the school year. And yet I think it doesn't have to be as intense as I used to think it needed to be in order for us to merit a break or a change.
Yeah.
So, and so like, our summer is going to look possibly similar to what we have been doing over the last few months. And especially, and this is just unique to me right now, is that we're, doing these big home renovations. And so I've had to really downsize our academic schoolwork. And this is like we're just doing a lot of life learning right now.
Yeah.
And so it's just gonna, I think we're gonna slide into summer instead of like drop off a cliff, I think. Is I think what it's gonna hopefully feel like.
Right. I kind of feel the same for me. I think I've had an evolution of doing a little bit more in the summer and a little bit less during the school year, so it is more balanced. However, another thing I feel like I need to consider, and this is important to my kids, and so I think I need to take it into consideration, is that since most other people, friends and everybody else, you know, all the other kids around town, most of them are on a break.
Yeah.
And that's important to them. Like, they want to feel like, oh, I get the summer off, quote unquote.
Yes.
Because everybody else does.
So true.
And whereas maybe it's easier for me to keep some stuff in for routine purposes or, you know, because I want to keep our whole year balanced. I have to also realize that they need that feeling. And I loved that feeling when I was a kid too. So I do want to give them that as well. So I'm trying to balance those.
Right. I know. What I don't want is that feeling like I'm so burnt out. I can't even do anything.
Yeah.
Like we have to take a break where we're not doing anything because of how much I pushed all of us during the school year. So we're evolving from that. I think, it is tough though, because, and we've talked about this on the podcast before, because even though we know internally and theoretically, we know that's good, but we've done it as a kid. We did it differently. We did it this other way where it was super intense for 9 months and then like nothing for 3 months. And, because our brains just have that memory, it's sometimes hard to change, even though we know we want it differently. Yeah. We want it to be different.
Yeah.
But I do have to say, I think sometimes our summers even get busier, not because of our schoolwork or anything, but because everything is offered in the summer.
Oh, yeah.
For our kids. Yeah. This is when we get to sign up for all the fun.
This is when homeschoolers get to sign up, especially. I mean, other kids do too, but this is a time for the homeschoolers to take advantage of all the fun offerings.
Right. Like, this is the kind of stuff we want all year.
Yeah, right. Right.
But it's only offered these 3 months. So, like, I'm taking up our Parks and Rec program on all their cool things that they're doing.
Yeah. Yep, exactly. Gosh, it'd be nice if we had this all year.
Wouldn't it?
Someday. There are going to be enough homeschoolers where this stuff is going to be offered all year.
I can't wait.
I know. Well, we'll be grandmas.
I'm going to have to wait. You're right.
I mean, maybe it's like that in some areas of the country. If you have that already, that's awesome.
I want to hear about it.
I mean, we have some stuff offered, but it's just not the plethora. And not all the kids sign up for it. Mm-hmm. Sometimes your kids are the only ones signed up.
Right. And then you're like, well, we came to make friends. Okay, so why don't we talk a little bit about what let's talk about some
what
technical
we're actually
things
going to do?
Yeah. What are we actually doing specifically?
Okay. Well, for me, I think it's important to choose a few tent poles. Mm-hmm. We've used this analogy before.
Yes.
Just a few things for the summer that are going to anchor your summer.
Yes.
And be the thing that you kind of work around. And that is different for every family.
Yeah.
Every family kind of has their thing. And
but tent poles are great because they do, like you said, they do anchor your day. And so even when things are really weird the rest of the day, it might be some things that are unfamiliar, they're new, whatever. Mm-hmm. The schedule isn't regular, especially in the summer. That happens a lot. But your tent poles are still there. So it takes a lot less work to help your kids just feel regulated during the summer, if you have those tent poles in place.
Yeah, that's good.
Feels really good and safe.
Yeah. So in the past, we've been like a camping family. So the camping was our tent pole. Like, we went all the time.
No pun intended.
What's the pun? I don't get that.
Tent pole.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Sorry. I wasn't thinking that because we had a camper. So.
Oh, yeah. Not the same.
not the same. And then sometimes it can be, so the last 4 to 5 years for us, it has been the play. My kids have done the summer play. And that has involved practices every evening and then performances a couple different weekends. Though that has been our major tentpole. That has been like kind of the non-negotiable thing that we're doing, and other things get planned around that. You know, for some people it's traveling. For some people it's going to a cabin or visiting grandparents, or for some people it's like a certain camp that you always go to.
Yeah.
Or summer soccer, or, you know, doing the library reading program. I mean, there's just a lot of different things that it can be.
Yeah.
But I think for us, it's important to choose a couple of those things to anchor our summer.
Totally.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's so good. And we actually are, well, 2 of our kids are doing the local play also.
Yep.
And I think it's so helpful because a lot of things in our lives are changing right now. We're selling our house and planning some traveling.
Yep.
And so that is just a familiar thing. It's what to expect every day. So I'm very thankful for that kind of stuff. Also, I'll just say, our daily tent poles that we've been doing throughout the school year, we're probably going to keep doing those. Okay. Just some of them anyway. And it's just going to be maybe a minimized version probably. But in the morning, my kids read for a half an hour, do their chores, and have breakfast. And I think we're just going to keep doing those 3 things. They're simple, and since the more we do them, the easier it is to do every day. And it just feels, it's one of those autopilot things now. Yeah. So reading used to be really a struggle to get my kids finish, just to read, just to get in the habit of reading every day when it wasn't right away in the morning. And I don't think this is for everybody. Not everybody needs to do this every day in the morning. But for us, this is how it works really well.
Yeah, that's great. So are your kids reading before they do any screens?
Yes.
Or do they sometimes do a screen and then you're like, no, everybody needs to read, remember?
On the weekends they can do screens first in the morning.
Okay.
Yeah. But during the week they have to read first, and we're going to continue doing that.
And do you have a specified amount of time that they need to do it for, or
they have to read for a half an hour?
Okay, so is it like sometimes like one kid might get up at 6 and read for a half an hour, and another kid might get up at 8 and read for a half an hour? So they're not all doing it at the same time necessarily.
Exactly. Yeah.
Okay.
It was always really hard for me personally, as probably my personality and my kids, to get everybody to sit down and read at the same time. Like drop. We used to have deer time, drop everything and read, where we're all sitting quietly and reading. It just wasn't working for us anymore. I think it might eventually again. It's just not working right now.
Right. Okay. So it's just kind of, your kids have a mental checklist in their head. Like, I need to read. I need to do my chores.
Yeah. It's on our whiteboard.
Oh, okay.
Yep. So this is but they don't really need it anymore.
Okay. Okay. I like that.
Yeah, it's just 3 simple things.
That's great. We do something similar but different, where I have them read and go outside. In
the morning.
Well, before they can do any screens, they have to do those 2 things. And they can't do any screens till afternoon. So you've heard me talk about my screen time rule angst. I've changed the rules several times. Right. This has been the rule that has been working for a while now.
Good.
And I think we're going to stick with it. So my kids do end up reading in the morning because they know they want to do screen time sometime in the afternoon. They want to get it done. And then they're going outside too. So I feel like that's a standard that we're also going to keep for the summer.
Right. That's so good. I mean, I think that's great because the more it's a routine, the easier it is to do it.
Yeah.
Too, so
yeah. Another thing I just wanted to mention, my kids are different. It's easier when your kids are younger to kind of group them all together, and we're all going to do this thing. Like, this is going to be our family tent pole.
Yeah.
But as my kids are getting older, they're different, and their needs are different. And as hard as it is for me to try and meet the differing needs of the kids, it's something that I just have to do.
Yeah.
So my girls have requested and need lots of like downtime, and I don't want to sign up for anything. They're doing the
Mm-hmm.
play and that's it. They don't want any other
plenty.
camps. They don't want to be forced to do any other activities.
Right.
But my youngest needs all the activities. He
Yeah.
just really does.
Yeah.
He's just his personality is such that, he needs to be active a lot of the day. And it's hard because his sisters don't want to be, like they need the downtime. And so he can't always rely on them. And so summer, like we talked about, is the time when all those activities are available.
Right.
And so I'm signing him up for some stuff. I'm signing him up for lots of stuff.
Yeah.
And
I liked how you kind of, I think you said, like, we're signing you up for stuff if you want to help decide those things. Great. If you don't, otherwise we're just gonna pick them.
Yeah,
because you need to do stuff.
Yeah, we had a conversation with him that was,
Yeah.
you really need lots of activity.
Yeah.
We'd like to sign you up for some stuff. This is your chance to get out and talk to other people and meet other kids. And so we did get his buy-in on that because he knows that he needs that. And so then we said, if you want to help us pick the activities, you can. If you don't, then we'll just pick them,
Right.
And so he's had some input and it's been actually good. It's been a good process. The hard part is for me, I'm an introvert. I like to stay home. And the thought of driving him around and like keeping track of all of the family activities is a lot to me. I'd rather not sign up for anything. But so I've had to let go a little bit of that for myself because I know he needs it.
Right.
And it'll be so good for him.
And hopefully you can have your earbuds in more though.
Yeah.
Hopefully. I mean, that's what I'm hoping for you. So like even in the car ride.
Yeah, maybe.
You can listen to things instead of talk all day,
Yeah.
So some other I don't know if I can call these tent poles because they're not necessarily things that are happening at a certain time or in a very structured way, but just things that I am keeping on my radar that are definitely priorities and things that are good to I think prioritize in the summer because there's not a bunch of other, I feel like, demands happening in the summer necessarily. So getting outside, like you said, super important. It's going to happen every day. It's just, for me, I don't have anything necessarily planned all the time, for that. But we do like to go to lots of parks, and we now that we have a dog parks is motivating because we can see our dog having fun, and then that makes everybody like so happy. So also music. Music is so important, and I want to make that a priority. Not just having it on really is a big part of that. Just having it on and exposing my kids to different kinds of music it can often just be in the background.
Yeah, you're really good at that.
Another thing is one-on-one time with my kids. My kids need this so badly. They beg for it when we're not doing it well. And it's so important. Just even a conversation with each kid each day. Just two people talking instead of everybody, because when it's our whole family, there are so many interruptions and nobody really feels heard, I think, as much as they really need to. So that one-on-one time is super important and needs to especially happen like for us this summer as we're going through transitions. Like it's really important that they feel grounded and feel connected with us. So and then exercising, which often goes along with outdoor time, but just I want my kids to be very active this summer. And I kind of told my kids the same thing that you just told your son, which is you need to do active things. You have to get some exercise. So you can help me pick out what you want to do, or otherwise I'm just going to pick something for you because it's really important. It's not happening necessarily on our own all the time. So I'm not into super competitive things unless my kids want that.
Yeah.
I don't like that competitive factor, maybe just not yet anyway. If my kids were into that, I'd be totally on board with it. I really would. But they don't seem to be. So I'm totally fine with just, Parks and Rec or the YMCA, clubs or whatever. Those are great.
So you're thinking like
Just-
classes or camps or something.
Yeah, just something to get them active.
Yeah. Okay.
Yep. And then also, cooking is a great thing to do in the summer, I think, because, or I mean, it doesn't even have to be like, I don't really like cooking a lot, like using the oven and stuff. But I mean, just like anything in the kitchen where you're making things. It could be smoothies. It could be, healthy popsicles, whatever it is. Just doing things like that, creating things in the kitchen. I love doing that in the summer because I feel like you can spend all day. Go ahead, make anything that, within reason, because we have the time now. So, and then one thing that my kids are super into right now is making extra money. Like you and I have talked about this, making extra money. So Sean and I are making a list of projects that they can do, and then how much they can make if they do that thing.
That's a good idea. I need to do that. That is a great idea.
Yeah. So those are things that I like those things because they're things that we might not like prioritize necessarily all the time during the school year because of our other commitments.
Yeah, that's great.
Yeah.
Are you doing any other kind of, besides reading, are you doing any other kind of quote unquote school
good
type
question.
of things for the summer?
Well, yeah, that's a good question. I don't know. I haven't solidified my plan, but I want them to continue to do mathy type things.
Yeah.
I don't want it to feel like the school year. So it's probably not going to be CTC Math because my kids are kind of burned out from that.
Okay.
They're kind of done with it, even though it's not even that super intense. It's, it's 10 or 15 minutes a day, but just the format is just, it feels more schooly to them.
Yeah.
So it would have to be different than that.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. How about you?
Well, I think for my younger two, my oldest took a math class. It was really intense all year. She wants a break. So she's going to get a break. My younger two, who are 12 and 10, I think they are going to keep doing CTC Math. And when I say this, I keep your expectations low because they didn't really start CTC Math until later, a little bit later in the year. And they're kind of on a roll.
Yeah.
Now they do want breaks, and I want to give them breaks. So this is not going to be a daily thing, but I think we're going to take a few weeks at a time where we are going to do like one lesson a day. And these are 10 to 15 minutes.
Yeah.
My 12-year-old is really, she's almost finishing the grade that she's working on. So she's like actually motivated. She wants to finish.
Yeah, that feels good.
She wants to finish this grade.
That's awesome.
So that she can like check it off in her mind. And so she doesn't have that much left to do. So I'm going to help her figure out how to do that this summer. It's not that important to me that she finishes it, but it's important to her. And then my son,
yeah, you got to ride that wave if they're excited about it.
Right.
That's when you do the work.
That's when you do it. I know,
Yeah.
but also important is a break for her. So I'm going to try and figure out how to work those in so that she feels like, oh, I'm having this break, but also I'm finishing this thing that's important to me.
Yeah.
So my 10-year-old, the same, we're going to do just a little bit. So I'm talking a couple times a week for a few weeks in the summer, not the whole summer. We're going to do like 10 to 15 minutes just so he can kind of keep up his momentum.
Yeah.
So
very good. That's so good. I mean, yeah, this is where like these kind of things are there's no right or wrong way to do this. For us, CTC Math is probably not going to work for us this summer. Yeah. For you, it probably is. And I think that's really, really good to say, that these things are working for me and they're not working for you right now. And it's really good.
It's different for everybody.
Both scenarios are really, really great.
Yeah.
So I think it's just so easy for all of us to say, oh, you're doing that CTC Math. Oh man,
she's doing math. I should do math.
I got to get on
I don't want anybody to think that. Because actually I haven't done math any other summer and I've been fine with that. This is the first summer I'm actually going to do this.
And only because, like, it feels right.
It feels right now. Feels right. And for me, it's a tentpole a little bit. Like, it's kind of a routine. Yeah. Like, they do these couple things in the morning, and they're done.
Oh, so I should say, as we've been on this minimalist schooling schedule during our housework that we're doing, the things that I do put on our board on the days that we do something academic-y, it is math. And I just tell my kids, you need to decide how you're going to do math today. So it's either Prodigy, CTC Math, play a math game, practice your math facts somehow or something. So it's just like some sort of math, whatever they do, whatever they decide. Because I do feel like whatever they decide is going to be how they're going to learn the best that day.
Yeah.
So if I make them do it a certain way right now where we're at, it's just, they're going to do it, but it's not going to like be the best learning. So however they want to do math that day, I give them a few choices. Great. And then we do Q&A a day, which is a journal book where it's 3 years of, journal, basically a journal prompt for every day, but they have like room for you to answer the question for 3 years. So you can kind of compare your answers year to year. And so our kids really like doing that. And then English, I call it English.
Okay.
And it's just, it's different for everybody. That's why I just call it English. It's very general. My 12-year-old does dailygrams, which is just, it's a variety of, grammar, spelling, parts of speech, that kind of stuff.
Yep.
So she does that. My 10-year-olds do, I'm not even going to remember it. It's a workbook.
Okay.
I think it's called Launch into Reading or something. I'll put the link in the notes.
Yep.
And then my 8-year-old does Explode the Code. So it's spelling. Yep. It's mostly spelling for them.
So that's the spring you've been doing that.
Yep.
And are you going to keep doing that this summer?
I mean, I think those days where we don't have a ton of stuff going on and I need, like you said, I need a tent pole.
Yeah.
I need something to anchor our day because there's nothing else.
Yeah.
I think those are good things to have
Yep.
on board. So.
Right. Good. All right. Well, we'd love to hear from you. If you have some great ideas about summer, I'd love to hear.
Definitely.
Because it's always changing for me. I have a different kind of attitude or view going into each summer. And it is dependent on what has happened the year prior. So I guess I'd love to hear what anybody else is doing, and I would encourage everybody to do what's right for you.
Yes, absolutely. And I think I would love to have a discussion about this, maybe in our closed Facebook group, Unrefined Homeschoolers. This might be a good place because I love hearing that people are doing it differently and what's going well for them. Like this is how it works for us. This is how it works for us. Like we just talked about. It's really great to just, to hear different experiences,
right?
Because then and if you can read and if you can participate in the group, not feeling like, oh, I need to do all those things that everybody else is doing, but to feel like, oh yeah, this is different for everyone. You're right. This is different.
Yeah, that'd be great. And before we get to our LTWs, we wanted to tell you about something special that we did just for summer. Maren and I put together a list of our summer favorite items. These are things that we personally use or our kids personally use to help us enjoy and maximize our summer. If you are interested in seeing or browsing that list of items, it is in our Amazon shop, which we will put a link in the show notes or on our website. But it is amazon.com/shop/homeschoolunrefined. And there's a special grouping there that we are just calling summer favorites. And you can see our list of things there. All right, let's move on to loving this week.
Ooh, yes. LTW. Angela, what are you loving this week?
I am loving a recipe. And I already shared this with some of our patrons, but it was too good to keep hidden. I have to share it with everybody because this is something that I'm making regularly now, and it's easy. So anytime there's something like easy, healthy, and what's the other one? Easy, healthy, and everybody will eat it.
Yeah. That's a home run.
I feel like I need to share it.
Yeah.
So This is an Instant Pot recipe, but it can be used in a slow cooker too.
Mm-hmm.
But I like that it's Instant Pot, so if you have one and you haven't used it yet or you don't use it that much, this would be a good one for that. It's Instant Pot sweet potato chicken curry.
Yum.
So what I like about this is from the Real Food RDs, who I really like them.
Mm-hmm.
I follow them on Instagram, like their recipes. So what I like about it is it's very easy. So you just throw the things in the Instant Pot and turn it on like I think 10 minutes and it's done.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
There's lots of vegetables. It's chicken. It's called sweet potato chicken, but you can vary the vegetables. The first time I did it, I
Great.
followed the recipe exactly, did all the vegetables listed, did the chicken, but I quickly realized you don't need to do that. So what I like about this is I can just pick whatever veggies I have in the house. You can make it meatless. You can use beef. You can use any kind of meat and or veggie combination that you want.
Nice.
And I really like that. So it's basically just throwing the stuff in, and the seasonings even, like I used the seasonings according to the recipe the first time I did it. The next time I did it, I have a different curry seasonings that I really like in a package. So I just put those in instead. It was amazing.
Wow.
So I just it's easy to vary, and I like that. And then I just make some rice and
Is this
meal.
different than the curry I've had of yours? Because I've had your curry.
Yeah.
Is this
That's a curry that I do on the stovetop.
Yeah. Okay. So this is just different.
I should just do this from now on instead of doing. I basically do this from now on instead of the stovetop.
Wow, because I loved that curry too. So
yeah, I mean, curry is one of those.
Yeah.
That's just you throw in whatever vegetables and meat you have. And
that's the great thing
about
it
over
curry.
Rice.
Mm-hmm.
So I love this. It's versatile. I'll put the link in the show notes so you can.
Can't wait.
Try it.
I will be doing this because I need more Instant Pot recipes these days.
Yeah. It's easy when you're doing a home renovation.
Yes.
Yeah.
Instant Pot.
Yeah. All right. What are you loving this week, Maren?
Okay. I am loving a book. Oh. I've also shared this with some patrons.
Okay.
But it is called Burnout, The Secret to Unlocking the Stress Cycle. I mean, it was kind of all the buzz on Instagram in the past few weeks.
Okay.
So I just thought, okay, I'm going to try it because I really like the author. It's by Emily Nagoski, and she wrote the book called Come As You Are, which is, we both read that, right?
Yep.
And talked about it. Did we talk about that on the show?
I'm not sure.
Anyway, it was also a great book for women, especially. But she really, her mission really in life is to help women feel very comfortable in their bodies.
Okay.
And who they are. So, and she's so empowering. And she actually wrote this with her twin sister, Amelia Nagoski. And it really is speaking right to me these days she talks about how we as a culture, not even just as women, but as a culture, we have not done a good job. We don't close the stress cycle like, back in the day when people were like out hunting and then they'd come home and they'd tell the story about how they killed this animal, and it would just that closure of their stress would finish the stress cycle. We don't have those opportunities in our culture really, and so we need to physically get this stress, the chemicals out of our body. And she talks so much about that, but she also does talk straight to women about how we as women often take on unnecessary stress. And how to kind of change that cycle.
Yeah.
Too. So, it's really speaking to me.
That's awesome.
And she's a great writer.
And are you listening to this? Or are you reading?
I'm listening to it on Scribd, which is an app where it's kind of like Netflix. I've talked about this on the podcast before too, but like it's kind of like Netflix for books. So you can just listen to a book when.
Yeah, that's
awesome. You don't ever own it, but it's great. It's great. I love Scribd too.
Yeah, I am definitely gonna try this book. Might take me a couple months, but I loved Come As You Are, and I think stress is such an important topic that we don't pay enough attention to because it affects our physical health.
It does
so much. It affects you physically and you don't know it.
And I think I did learn that the hard way.
Yeah.
And I am realizing that it is the number one most important thing for me to do, especially during this stressful time when we're selling our house and things. This is where the last time we sold a house is where I did get physically unhealthy in a lot of ways. And it's kind of stuck with me. And I'm working really hard to change that right now.
Good for you.
Yeah.
I hope you can. Part of me thinks moving is just stressful.
It just is. And,
I know.
she really just addresses, there are two parts of this, the stress, two parts, which are the stressor and the stress inside your body. There are two things. So sometimes we can't always control the stressor. So we have to just we have to deal with the
way
stress.
your body is handling it.
Yes, exactly.
Yes. Okay.
Yeah. So it really does help me identify that. And it does help me even identify how I can, the stressor of moving is just going to happen, but I can change some things about how I'm going about my day.
For sure.
Yeah. So.
Yeah. That's awesome. I love it. All right. Well, thank you everybody for listening. We'd love to have you follow us on social media. We're on Facebook and Instagram at Homeschool Unrefined. And then we do have that closed Facebook group we'd love to have you join called Unrefined Homeschoolers. And we have a website, homeschoolunrefined.com, where you can find links to everything that we talked about. And we'll see you next time.
Thanks for listening.
Homeschool Unrefined is created and produced by Maren and Angela Sizer. Ethan Miller is our editor, and Amanda Ginn is our VP of all the important things.